let's go ahead. We'll start sitting, and you can sit any way you like. I'm just gonna come up a little bit on the blanket here. All right, so besides wall, any special requests?
Hips.
Hips.
Booty hips.
Booty hips. Okay.
Legs.
Legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lower.
Do it. We'll do both stretch work and strength work for the legs. Good combo. Yeah. So as you find your seat, just give yourself a little bit of a wobble, a little bit of movement. And very gradually let the movement start to settle without becoming stiff and rigid. Like you're a piece of seaweed here moving through the current, and the water just starts to settle. And bring your awareness to whatever is meeting the earth here, meeting your props below you. And allow yourself to root down there. At the same time, see if you can become light and lifted up through the crown of the head. Don't go have any tension or holding in the shoulders, in your face. Just take a few easy breaths, allowing the body to be moved by the breath. Hands to heart center. Here you can either join me for an om or just listen instead. Take a sweet breath in. Gently draw the head down and let the eyes blink open. We'll return the head to center. Let the arms release, and let's change the way the legs are crossed. So you have the other one in front, which usually feels a little awkward. Yeah. And then we'll have the hands just on the knees here and take a few rounds of a seated cat-cow. Just moving through the spine in a way that feels good for you. You heard that. Some nice crispy treats over there. Right, and then let's let the movement settle here. And we'll reach the arms up overhead. Just pick a side. We'll come over into a side bend. And then let's come up and take the second side. Friends, take one more on each side. Just easy, gentle movement here. And as we come back into center, both arms up to the sky, and just create some circles here with the wrists. Around, I'm getting the wrist crackles. And let's set up the fingers here on the front of the shoulders and take a few little bat wings. And other direction. Yes, you guys. Okay, let's let the arms go. And we'll set up here for this next one. And depending on your wall situation for Mary, you might have just a tall enough baseboard. And if you don't, our baseboards are pretty small. You might want to take a blanket and roll it up to put it in the baseboard so that you have the feet, something to press the feet into. You can go get a second blanket if you want. So we'll have the strap handy, and let me demonstrate this. So you'll have the knees bent and the feet on the blanket roll, and the knees aren't bent too much, because what we want to do here, you'll press into the feet as the legs straighten, and you want that to sort of drag the flesh of your back down. Yeah, so you're kind of wedged in. And be sure your strap is handy so that you can grab it in a second. Just want to look at you and make sure. Good. So it's Tadasana on your back. And just like in a standing Tadasana here, we're not going to go to sleep. So take a second and really press the feet into the baseboard or into the roll. And in particular, can you press into the inner heels? And to see how that work travels all the way up through the legs and really into the whole body when you press through the heels. Let's take your arms just right in front of the chest, straight up into the sky. Take a breath in. And as the exhale happens, see if you can draw the lower ribs down as you reach the arms back, but don't let them completely touch the floor. That's it. We'll inhale once you get there. And then on the exhale, take the arms right in front of the chest again. We'll do that a few times. So the inhale will pause, and the exhale will move, keeping the ribs contained as the arms reach back. Inhale to pause, and exhale to bring the arms up again. So take that one or two more times. Yes, friend. And then release the arms, stay in the shape, and just let the legs kind of relax for a second. And then from here, let's activate the left foot again. So press the left heel into the baseboard or into your roll, and then we'll bring the right knee in towards your chest. Just give the leg a little bit of a squeeze with the arms. Okay. And then from here, go ahead and find your strap, and we'll strap up the sole of the foot, reaching the leg up. And for a moment, just let the left leg be for a second. We'll worry about that in a second. And on the right leg, let's take a few rounds to bend and straighten the knee just to get a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Yeah, you can take any handhold you like, a loop, a no loop. You can take the loop around your back if you wanted to. These are pretty long straps, so yeah. Good. And then once the leg has been moving around a little bit, let's pause with the knee just slightly bent. Pay attention to the bottom leg here and reach the foot, the inner heel, towards the blanket roll or towards your baseboard. And now reach the front of the thigh towards the wall. Yeah, the hip crease. See if you can keep that as you re-lengthen the right leg. And with equal effort here, press the foot into the strap as the hands pull down on the strap. Yeah. Do your best to have normal lumbar curve, so we don't want to flatten the low back for this particular one. Good. All right, stay in the position. Back off a little bit on the leg. You can give yourself a little more slack on the strap. And then let's take a few rounds of circles here. And I'm going to say any size circle, but see if it can be a round circles. No hexagons. No corners in the circle. And then let's take a few the other direction. Round we go. And for the moment, just kind of leave the left leg alone. We'll come back to the bottom leg in a second. Great. Let's let the circling settle down. Reactivate the left leg. Press the heel into the roll and the inner thigh down. And then we'll have right hand on the strap. We'll take the right leg out, but only go, I don't know, a foot or two, not too far. And then we'll pause here, take a slight bend in the right knee. And can you move the right sitting bone towards the left foot? Yeah, keep that alignment in the pelvis and re-lengthen the leg. And if you wish to go lower, if you're able to, feel free, but try not to let the left hip pop up. We want to keep the left hip grounded. You can even put your left hand on it just to make sure. Yeah. Good. All right, yogis, stay in the position for one more moment. And imagine that you could spin your navel to the left. Try to do that. And then come back to sit. Awesome. So for this next part here, let's take the strap into the left hand, and we're just gonna go a little bit. Bring the right leg over the midline, but not too much, just, an inch or so. Yeah. And then we'll pause here, bend the right knee, and can you pull the right sitting bone towards the wall? Yeah, and keep that as you re-lengthen the leg. Good. Now stay here, let's spread out a little more through the toes. And without moving the whole leg, can you pull back through the pinky toe and press outward through the base of the big toe, the ball of the big toe. Great. All right, friends, let's return to center here. You can bend the knee, relax the foot. And let's try this little experiment. Stretch the leg up to straight again. And as you lower the leg down, see if it has gotten any longer on the way down. Does it hit the top of the roll? Yeah. So it's a yoga miracle. Got a longer right leg. So we got to do the other one here. Let's wedge ourselves in again. So bend the knees slightly with the feet at the heels on something. And then you'll press into the heels to re-straighten the legs. Careful of your collar on your shirt. Sometimes it pulls on the clothes. Yeah. Great. And then this one, let's do one more round of this. So arms stretch right in front of the chest. Pull down through the front ribs and keep that as the arms go back, but not all the way to the floor. So growing as tall as you can if you're on your back. Sit. And then we'll take the arms up. Keep the right foot pressing into the roll and bring the left knee to the chest. Give the leg a little squeeze. Yeah. Great. And then let's grab the strap and we'll reset. So the strap goes over the foot. Go ahead, let's lengthen the leg and don't worry about the right knee for a second. So let the right leg just be relaxed. And the left leg will do a few rounds of bend and straighten. All right, friends, let's pause with a little bend in the knee. And now pay attention to the bottom leg. Press the heel forward, send the inner thigh towards the floor. And then on the left leg, try to pull the left sitting bone towards the wall as you re-lengthen the left leg. Yeah. Press the foot up as much as you're pulling down on the strap. So it's like a little, instead of a tug of war, kind of a push of war between strap and foot. Got it here. We're going to back off. And let's give ourselves a little more slack on the strap and let the right leg just be relaxed for a second as we draw some circles. And make sure they're really circles, no eggplants, no amoebas. Think about ball and socket joint here and let the movement be as smooth, as glidey as it can be. And then we'll switch route, go the other direction. On this side, I'm getting more like a hexagon. Sometimes it happens. All right, friends, let's pause here and reactivate the right leg. Press out. And then we'll take the strap in the left hand, just go a little bit, about a foot or two here, and take a slight bend in the left knee. Try to pull the left sitting bone towards the right foot to lengthen the side of the waist and even out the hips a little bit as we re-stretch the leg to straight. Oh, yeah. If you wanted to go lower, you could. Do your best, though, to keep the right hip down. You can even put your hand on it to make sure. And as if you could spin the navel over towards the right side. Try to do that. Mm-hmm. All right, friends, let's return back to center. And then we'll take the leg just over the midline, but not too far, and take a tiny bend in the left knee again. And then let's move the left sitting bone again towards the wall and keep that as we re-lengthen the leg on the diagonal. Spread out a little through the toes, oh my goodness, and then pull back through the pinky toe and press out through the ball of the big toe. Big juicy stretch down the whole side of the leg there. Friends, let's return to center. You'll bend the knee, get rid of the strap, and then let's check it out. Leg goes long and then down and see if it grew. Ah, mine sure did. Yeah. All right, friends, let's do two more things here. Just take a break for a second. Hug the knees in towards your chest and just move a little bit. And then we'll actually take, it's kind of a variation of tree pose, but we'll still be laying down. So let's do this. Put the right foot on the floor, the sole of the foot, and stretch the left leg out again so the heel is pressing into the wall or to your blanket. And then from here, let's take the hands on your hips, elbows out to the side, and it's not exactly tree, but it's kind of close. So slowly let the right knee go out to the right. You'll roll to the edge of the right foot, but don't go so far over that the whole pelvis starts going with the leg. So you want to keep the left hip grounded and rooted on the floor. Now, once you're in this position, press the pinky side of the right foot down into the floor, and you might feel that all the way up into the hip. Yeah. Now, tone a little through the belly. Let's take the arms straight in front of the chest here, palms facing each other, and we'll do the same arm motion that we did. So the arms start to draw back, but the ribs stay contained as we're here in this position. Supta Vrikshasana. And then we'll come back to center. And let's change legs. So plant the left foot on the floor. Stretch the right leg long so that the heel presses into the wall or into the baseboard. Hands on the hips at first, and then slowly roll to the pinky side of the foot. And only go so much that you can keep the right hip down so you don't want the whole pelvis to go with the leg. Great, we'll stay there. Press the pinky side of the foot down into the floor. Feel that kind of firm up through the outer hip. And then we'll take the arms right in front of the chest. Keep the ribs down as the arms start to drop back, but not completely to the floor. Almost, but not quite. Yeah, imagine you could grow longer here between the right foot and the pinky and all the fingertips. That's it. And then we'll return to center, reset the leg, let's bend the other knee. And one more time, just bring both knees into the chest, create any kind of movement here. Oh, yeah. Let's take some circles. That might feel nice on the back, just rolling around a couple of times. Other direction we go. And then from here, friends, let's turn over and we'll come up to all fours position. Take your time though to transition, and we'll set up the blanket so that it's under the knees, just to give a little extra squish. Yeah. Or we could just stay on the back the whole time. Yeah, it's fine. All right, we're gonna work a little and then we'll rest a little. So let's set it like this. Have the blocks handy, but we won't use them quite yet. And then set yourself up so the knees are on the blanket, and if you were to put one foot back on the wall, it would go straight back from the hips, and that'll be your distance. And then once we have that, just start to move through your cat-cow. And if you want to be a little playful with the cat-cow, you can add in some side bends or some circles, figure eights, anything at all. Good. And then let our movement settle here. Tuck the toes under and shift the hips back and go onto your fingertips, little spider fingers, just for a sec. And as if you were kind of shampooing your mat, just give a little scrunch here through the fingers. Yeah, exactly. And then let's reset. Put the hands down on the floor. And here's where we get into some work. Stretch the right leg back so the foot is on the wall. And look down and make sure the toes are facing down towards the floor. And then only for Val, if it feels better to have the legs slightly turned out, we can. More so later on, but yeah. And then from here, friends, let's pay attention to the heel. Can you press the right heel into the wall and gently but firmly, as if you were trying to lift the wall up with your heel, go like that. Yeah, exactly. And then Morgan, can you pull in a little bit through the lower ribs, just a little bit, right in here? Yes, exactly. And if anybody's feeling good here to add on, you can stretch the left arm straight ahead. If that's no good, don't worry about it. This pose is harder on the wall, isn't it? Good. And then we'll set the hand down, set the knee down. Just take a brief child's pose. If you like the spider fingers again, you can add that in. And then we'll do same thing side two. So reset your hands. Left leg steps back onto the wall and look at it. Make sure the toes are facing the floor. Yeah. Now once you're in that position, can you broaden the collarbones? Can you lift up through the lower ribs? Press the heel into the wall and try to lift the wall up with the heel. Use the inner thigh lifts too. Gorgeous. If the right arm wants to come forward, you can add that in. If that's not in the stars, don't worry about it. Now that wall's about to fall down, you guys. You gotta lift it up. Okay, down comes the arm, down comes the knee. Again, just a quickie child's pose. Now we go back to side one. I'll just show this real quick. And instead of legs straight back, we rotate open. So the toes point to the right and you can pivot a little on the left leg. So let's go ahead and do that one. Right leg is back, but we turn, the pelvis can turn a little bit and the foot can turn, the leg rotates in the hip socket. Exactly. Left hand presses down. Before we lift the right arm, press the right heel into the wall and gently but firmly try to lift the wall up with the outer leg. Yeah, and then up comes the right arm. Oh yeah, half moon. Morgan, you can scooch the left foot a little left, kind of pivot on the knee. That's it, yeah, kind of a kickstand. Good. Now, firmly, lovingly press the foot into the wall and up. Hello, outer hip. Gluteus medius, down comes the arm. Down comes the knee. Take another child's pose just for a quickie. Nice work, you guys. Last one here, so up we come. Left leg goes on the wall. We pivot a little bit, so the right foot goes a little right, and the left leg rotates out. Right hand to the floor. Before we come up, press the foot into the wall and try to lift the wall. And then we turn open, and then the left arm lifts. Now I can't see you, but I hope you're doing it. Keep pressing the heel, keep lifting the wall up with the outer leg. And when enough is enough, down comes the arm, down comes the knee. Back to child's pose. Let's stay for an extra moment once you get there. It's time. Flip your hands over, palms face up, and curl the fingers in and out. You can bend at the wrist if that feels good to you. Okay. And then from here, friends, this is where we'll be using the block. So let's set the blocks up here. You can go any height. Maybe I'll start with medium for myself. And we'll have the left leg forward and the right leg back. And we want to find a spot where the heel is on the wall. And if you're in the same room as I'm in, it'll go just above the baseboard there. And actually for this one, go ahead and go on the high setting of the blocks. Yeah, so the blocks are in the same line as the front foot. The right heel is back on the wall and the left leg is down. So let's pay attention for a second to the back leg. Press the heel into the wall and try to lift the inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Yeah, good. Don't go anywhere. Try to pull the right hip back towards the wall. And without moving your hands, try to pull the blocks towards the wall as the chest moves forward. Yeah. Oh, you guys look like $1,000,000. Now from here to add on, keep the back leg really active. Let's stretch the right arm back and then the left arm also back. So it's no hands. Yeah. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Really solid. Really solid. Nice. Okay. Down come the arms. Let's step the back foot forward and the front leg back to change sides. Same exact thing. So find the wall here. The heel is up on the wall. The hands are on the same line as the front foot. On the back leg, press the heel into the wall and try to lift the inner thigh. Yeah. On the front leg, try to pull the hip back towards the wall and don't move the blocks, but try to pull the blocks towards the wall as the chest moves forward. Excellent work. If you're still with me, let's take left arm back and then right arm back. And here we are, no hands lunge. The legs are working like crazy. Yogis. All right, we're gonna go again. Hands come down. Let's change sides. This will be our last round of this. Right leg back on the wall, left leg forward. Same rules apply. So the heel presses into the wall, the inner thigh lifts. The left hip pulls back. You try to pull the blocks back. We lengthen long through the torso. And then if you did arms back, do that again with both arms. And if that feels fine and you want to add on, don't change a thing except the arms. They come down and then forward. Oh, yeah. Back leg. Let it all be about the back leg for this moment. That's it. And then down come the arms. Let's step the back leg forward, the front leg back. Last side, last round. You got it, friends. Back heel presses into the wall. Inner thigh lifts. Right hip draws back. Try to pull the blocks back. Here we are. And then if you did arms back, let's start there. And if it feels fine to add on, arms come forward. Oh, yeah, yogis. Keep pressing into the back heel. Fingertips long. You got it. You guys look fantastic. Now straighten the back leg. Good. Down come the arms. And then let's step the back foot forward. Enough of that. Are you okay? Root down to rise up. Inhale the arms. And exhale the arms down. Oh, yogis. Well done. We made it to stand. Let's celebrate a little dance party. Hula hoop asana. You can bend the knees if you like. Good. And then go the other direction. All right, friends. So we'll do kind of a variation of the sun salutation with some adaptations for the wall. Hang on, a little hair management. Story of my life. So here we are at the front of the mat. You can be feet together or a little bit apart, whatever's most comfortable. Yeah. Root down through the legs. Inhale, we rise all the way up. Exhale, we're down, forward fold. You can bend the knees if you need. Take a halfway lift. And then we'll come down, hands to the floor. Let's walk the legs back, but be clear of the wall here, and then just come forward and down onto the belly. Yeah. Make sure the toes are not hitting the end of the mat. Yeah, you can move the blocks just so they're not in the way. Keep the hands right by the lower ribs on the side. And we'll just do some baby cobras. So broaden the collarbones, lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor. And without moving your hands, try to pull the hands towards the wall as you move the chest forward. We want to be engaged through the upper back. Yes, and then relax a little bit. You guys look great. Do that a few more times. So we pull back through the hands to come forward and up. Morgan, does this feel okay in your back? Yeah. And down. Let's do last one here. Great. And then press yourself back. We'll take a brief child's pose. You can have the toes tucked under. That's it. Now in a second here, we'll head to down dog and let's walk back a little bit so the heels can be at the wall. And if you're in this room, you'll be just above the baseboard. Yeah. Good. All right, stay in your position, slight bend in the knees. Don't move your hands, but try to press them forward so the hips shift back a little more towards the wall. And at the very tops of the thighs, widen slightly, press apart, and then keep that as the legs start to go straighter. Yeah, I like this wall version. Nice, we'll just stay here for a moment. Now, it's a little bit awkward of a transition. We'll shift forward into plank pose and you'll scoogee the feet back a little bit to whatever amount works for you to come into plank with heels on the wall. Now stay in your position. Can you broaden the collarbones? Can you lift up through the low belly and press the heels into the wall? Yeah. We're going to take a teensy barely bend in the elbows. Yes, don't you hate that? Yeah, back to down dog we go. Sorry, but not sorry. All right, and then walk the feet forward. Bend the knees a little bit. Inhale all the way up. Come lift, lift, lift. And exhale, the arms come down. Yeah. Circle out the wrists a couple of times. Now, Val, are you good to go up and down, or does that make you lightheaded?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If I need to, I'll stop.
Okay, yeah, always you could just do a half, take an extra breath, and then come up.
I do find that I have less breath, or maybe just more oxygen, more blood to get breath.
It's weird, yeah. You're doing great. All right, guys, so let me explain this one. And for Mary, I think I'm gonna go on that wall so she can see this. We're going to take a lunge pose with the block at the front of the shin. Let me just shift the screen a little bit. Okay, so the block will go here just below the knee, and we'll wedge it into the wall. Now there's a trick to this. If you want extra stretch for the toes, you can wedge the toes up the wall, which may or may not be possible and may or may not be comfortable depending on your body and the wall you're working with. And if that's the case, you'll go with the block at this level. And if you're not doing the toe thing, you'll step back slightly and have the block at this level and press into the shin. So whatever one you want to do is fine. Let's have right leg forward, left leg back. I'm going to do the toe squasher because why not? Yeah. And then you'll keep the block wedged in there. Hands to the wall and scooch the left leg back a little bit. Yeah, so you want the ball of the foot on the floor. It's just
the toes?
Just the toes. Yeah. Yeah, or if you, yeah, that's it. And then you'll set the block like this, right at the shin, and use the shin to wedge it in. Yeah, exactly. And if that's a no-go for the toes, or if it stops being okay, just change to the other version.
Well, the other version was what, feet on the ground?
Was the whole foot on the ground, and then the block is at this level at the shin instead. Yeah. It doesn't work for everybody, so do what you can. And then scooching the left leg back a little bit until the heel comes up off the floor. Yes, good job. Okay, now we're going to do a few things. Hands on the wall. Bend the back knee a little bit. And think of the inner thigh rolling back to create a little internal rotation. Lift up through the lowest part of the belly. And then at the same time, you press the hands into the wall and start to go straighter in the back leg. Yeah. And then from here, let's start to crawl the arms up a little bit more. Go onto the fingertips on the hands. And Morgan, or anybody, if it's feeling crunchy in the back, just bend the back knee a little bit. Yeah. Now from here, if it's possible, can you lift the arms straight up towards the ceiling? Lengthen long through both sides of the waist, but drop a little through the inner shoulders just so the neck has a bit more room. Yeah, you guys look great. You guys look excellent. To get out of this, just set the hands on the wall. Grab the block with your hand, straighten out the front leg, and then step out of the pose. Yeah, great. Okay, side two. We did it. Now you know what we're doing. We got the other side, yeah. Left leg, either you do the toe thing or you skip that part. That's funny, I did it on one side but not the other. But here we go. And then wiggle the right leg back enough so that the heel is lifted and bend through the knee a little bit. Back knee, yeah. And the front knee is bent because it's wedging the block in. On your back leg, roll the inner thigh back. Lift up through the belly, and then all at the same time, you press the hands into the wall, lift the belly, and go straighter in the back leg. Yeah, think of lifting the rib cage up off of the pelvis, and then start to crawl the arms up the wall, going onto the fingertips if possible. And if anybody's feeling pinch in the low back, just bend the knee a little bit here. Yeah, and then from here, let's go ahead and let go of the wall. Arms, fingers lift up towards the ceiling. But let the inner shoulder soften down. You got it. Keep a little lift up through the pit of the abdomen. Gorgeous. All right, to get out, hands come to the wall. Let's get rid of the block, straighten out the front leg, and get out of the pose. Good job. Just put the blocks to the side. And then let's do this. It will stay at the wall, and it'll be fingertips on the wall, not the flat hand, but the fingertips, approximately somewhere between the breasts and the hips. Yeah, just kind of right in the middle there. And then the hands, I meant the legs walk back. So it's like down dog, but not exactly. Stay on your fingertips. That's it. And then from your position here, we'll make a little adjustment. Tiny bend in both knees. And with the knees bent, press wide apart through the upper thighs and press back through the tops of the thighs. And we're going to walk the hands up a little higher. Yeah. And then from this position, don't straighten the legs yet. Bend the elbows a tiny bit. You're still on the tips of the fingers. Spin the elbow tips down towards the floor to rotate the arms. And then re-lengthen the arms. Yeah, so we spin and then we lengthen. Gorgeous. Pull in a little bit through the front lower ribs. And then can you go straighter in the legs without letting the pelvis tuck under? Yeah, so the legs go straighter. Excellent. You got it. You got it. Try to pull the legs back away from the wall rather than dumping towards your fingers into the wall. I know it's work. I'm not even doing it. I'm just looking at you. Guys, nice work, nice work. And then to get out of this, just walk forward and come back up. Yeah, just to step out of that and then give the fingers a little wiggle. Sometimes they get annoyed after that. Yeah. Okay, you felt that one. Yeah, in a good way? In the best way. Oh, I'm delighted. All right, so let's do another sun variation. Come to the front of the mat here, away from the wall, feet a little bit apart. Root down through the feet. Use the inhale to rise. And exhale to fold. Uttanasana. Knees can bend as much as you like. Halfway up we come lengthen. And then lower yourself down, hands to the floor. Let's walk the legs back until we get into plank pose. And then from your plank pose, we'll come knees down first and then down to the belly. Yeah. This one's the slither cobra. So you come up just a little bit. One shoulder does a little roll, other shoulder does a little roll, and then we roll back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, don't overthink it. Just like a snake slithering around. Yeah. Good. All right, and then we're going to do a simple quad stretch and we'll do a more complex one later. So let's just put one arm down on the floor and then the opposite leg, you'll bend the knee and hold on to the foot or the ankle. Yeah, whatever side you're on. No, do the, so whatever arm is forward, it's the other leg that bends and then you hold on. Yeah, that's it. I could have just said right and left from the get-go, but I didn't, so here we are. Yeah. Now stay in this position. It's tempting to just kind of take a little shavasana here, but instead of doing that, can you draw the navel forward? And without squeezing it, think of moving the tailbone down, but don't squeeze around it. Good. Let's release that and switch sides. Nice. So from this position, send the tip of the knee back towards the wall. And you draw the navel forward and tilt the pelvis so the tailbone moves down, but you don't squeeze or grip around it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Think of doing the movement from the pelvis from the front of the pelvis rather than the back, and that might help. Yeah. All right, let that one go. And just take a little wobble here on the belly, just a lazy little, yeah, because we're about to go to the plank again. All right, friends, when you're ready, let's go back up into downward facing dog and walk the legs back until the feet are at the baseboard, above the baseboard. And then just like we did before, a little bend in the knees, press the mat forward with the hands, the hips draw back, and then we lengthen the legs, downward facing dog pose. We'll keep the heels on the wall, and you might have to scooch the toes back a little bit as we shift into our plank pose, plank on the wall. Yeah, do the best you can with that. And if plank is not in the stars for the moment, skip it and stay in your dog. Yeah. All right, and then let's go back to downward dog. And come out of this. Bring the feet forward. Little bend in the knees. Inhale all the way up we come. Arms lift, legs lengthen. And use the exhale to come back down. Okay. So remember when we did this one a second ago, we'll do similar, but now it'll be elbows on the wall. We're gonna go a little higher up in the arms than we did for the last one. So let's find that here. You can interlace the fingers and set up the elbows and the forearms on the wall. And then we'll walk the legs back. So instead of the letter L, your body is more like a letter V. Yeah. Great. Now we're going to do a few things. Once you're in position, small bend in both knees. Keep the knees bent, and at the very tops of the thighs, press apart like we did in the other one, and also press back. Press the tops of the thighs back away from the wall. Yes. Now, at least you two, maybe Mary, I'm not sure. Can you lift up a little through the lower ribs so you don't collapse in the back? Yes, exactly it. And then pretend some mean little kid came by and stuck their finger right in your armpit and lift up through the center of the armpit. Yes. Yeah, go the other direction, Morgan. So, yeah, that's it. And then, again, lift up through those lower ribs just a little bit. Without going anywhere, try to press the arms into the wall and pull the wall down with your forearms. Yes. Keep the ribs lifted. That's it. Yeah. Are you breathing? No.
That's really good.
Yeah, you better breathe here. It's a lot. I'm not doing it. I'm just watching you guys. All right, go ahead. Let's walk the feet forward to come out of this. Very gently undo the arms and just give them a little wiggle, little movement, anything at all. Yeah. Okay. And now, friends, remember earlier we were on the belly doing this, and I said we were going to do a more complex version. Are you so excited?
No.
Let's do it. Yeah, no. Do you have really tight quads?
I think when I'm on my belly, I get a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, okay. Let's do this
I don't know, I just
instead.
feel like pulling, so I'm like,
Yeah, so the next one won't be on the belly, but it is very intense for here.
okay.
And if that's too much, you can stand at the wall and do this instead.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So for the rest of us here, how are your quads? Super duper tight or just kind of medium? You're fine. Okay.
You can check this so
Yeah, you'll be fine for this one. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
So let's set up the blanket here. So it's right at the edge. My blanket's all messed up. I need to redo it. Hang on.
Want like a square or just like a flat?
So let's do this. So there's a little tiny section coming up the wall. So it looks just like that. And then maybe I better show you what we're going to do and you can decide if it's a good idea or not. So just watch first. We'll come here, one knee will slide into the wall, and before you come back, we don't want the heel to be straight back from the butt. We want it slightly on the side. And then from there, this could be enough. This could be your pose with the other knee down. Or if you're going for it, the other leg steps forward. And if you're still going for it, maybe you're here. There's stages that we can go with it.
Feels like a crescent lunge.
Kind of, yeah.
You can't even see.
Oh, you can't see.
See your foot. It's
Here,
like
let me.
so like cold.
Yeah, I'm gonna try
It's
right here. Yeah, so you can
Okay.
see. Yeah, so it's like that. Yeah. You ready?
I was
Let's try. So let's all be on the same side here. Put the right leg back. So the knee is in the wall, and before we do further, look over the right shoulder and make sure the heel is slightly to the outside of the hip. Not, yes, so if you were to bring the butt back to the wall, it would fit, right? It'd fit like a little frog. Yeah. Are you okay, or is it too much?
No, it's good.
You're good. And then if it's fine to step the left leg forward, you can. I like blocks to the inside. You could prefer one on each side, whatever you want there.
Yeah. Can you kind of open?
You can turn it open if you want. Yeah. And then if you're still fine here, the next stage might be forearms to thigh, or if you're ready to come all the way up, you can, but go gradually. Yeah.
Nice posture.
Yeah. This is good. So I'm going to make it a little worse. Find a position that's tolerable for you, that feels like you could be here for a little bit. Yeah. Then once you're in that position, think of lifting the pubic bone up. And that might already do it for you. Another thing to think about is the back lower ribs. Imagine here that they could expand wider and draw back slightly. Yeah, does that do anything for you? Good. Now, if this is still feeling fine, maybe you stretch up through the arms or one arm. You could do same side as the leg. And when we lift the arms, the ribs have a tendency to pop forward. So just notice that and let them come down and in. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You could add a side bend if you wanted to. So important in this position to breathe. Always important, but especially now. Great. Okay. Now to get out, there's a number of different ways you could go. I like this version. Hands come down. You walk the arms over to the right and then just slide the right leg out. Yeah. Oh. Let's do this. Get up to stand for a second. I know you don't want to, but just to feel. Just to feel. Take a little walk. And notice how different the two sides are. Yeah.
Have a longer leg.
Yeah. Is your right leg going further back when you walk? Yeah. Longer. So that means we better do the left. Better do it. Let's come back and give it a whirl. We'll go very gradually. My left side's definitely tighter. We all have a tighter side, so let's just try. So first you'll slide the knee back, and before you go further, make sure the foot is slightly to the outside of the hip, just slightly. And then if this is it, you stay. If you're going for more, right foot steps forward, arms either inside or one on each side. Still going further, you can either forearms to side or all the way up. Go slowly though, whatever you're progressing to. Yes. Yeah, Mary, I see you there. Now, in this position, gently, slowly, find that little lift up through the pubic bone. And at the same time, can you widen the back ribs? Think of them just expanding a little bit. Yeah. If you're still good to add on, maybe you lift either left arm or both arms. When the arms lift, just notice the ribs will want to come forward, so you'll have to readjust. Important to still breathe. Yeah. So we're pulling on the psoas muscle in addition to some other things. And the psoas and the diaphragm have a few direct connections, so they influence each other. And it's very easy to stop breathing when you're feeling this quite a bit. Okay, let's gently come down. And then we'll walk the arms over to the left side and just sneak your way down off the wall. Nice work. Let's get up, take another little walk, just do it. Good. And then I just want to show Val something real quick. Instead of doing this on the belly, whenever we do that, you can just roll over to the side and do that version. And whenever we do cobras and stuff, what you can do, cobra feels fine.
When I'm fully engaging this
When you're
line,
pulling there.
this
Okay,
area,
fair enough.
I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah,
The cobra, this extension of the shoulders.
it feels good.
Good. I'm not waiting to pull.
Yeah, just do the little one, and strengthening the upper back really, really good to do. So I'll show you a later version another time once baby starts to grow. Okay, you guys. I just forgot what we were going to do next. Oh, no, I didn't. So let me show you this one too. It's another one on the wall. Mary, give me a thumbs up if you can see me okay. Okay, I see your thumb. Thanks. Yeah. So let me show this one. It's the figure 4 stretch. and it's tempting to get really, really close to the wall, but let's not get completely touching. And I'll show you why in a second. We'll be here. What we want to try to do is untuck the pelvis and then slide the leg down. What wants to happen here is, see here how my hips are coming off the floor. I'm still getting a pretty decent stretch here, but we want to try to do it with normal lumbar curve and a neutral pelvis. Yeah, so let's try that. We'll start here with the feet up the wall. It's really individual. I would say for you guys, probably about 6 to 8 inches or so. Yeah, you guys are fairly flexible. Great. Okay, yeah. And then once you're in position there, the right ankle will cross over the left thigh. I'm gonna turn over just so I can see you guys. So slide both feet up a little bit higher at first. And then cross the right ankle over the left thigh, close to the knee, but not right on the knee. That's it. And now before we slide the leg down, untuck the pelvis. See if you can find, just like you could slide a few fingers underneath your back, and try to keep that as the left foot starts to slide down. Yeah. And only go until you start feeling a decent stretch in the outer right hip. Are you guys getting that?
I think I don't have this like a curve.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna look at you.
Oh no, this is my
Yeah, I'm gonna look at you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a curve.
no, that's okay. Try to, instead of cat, do more cow. So let it happen from the pelvis. Does that work?
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Go up with both, put the other leg up too, scooch a little closer. And then that's enough. Yeah, and then try again. Right ankle crosses over. Untuck, no, don't go down yet. No, put the right foot over. And then try to do both cat-cow. And then other one. Stay there. Flex the foot, both of you. Flex the right foot. Press the heel towards the left a little bit. Yeah, that's it. And then slide this one down. But try not to tuck the pelvis up. So we want it to be like, yeah, does it feel okay? Like, are you getting something? Yeah, okay.
I'm getting mad.
Yeah, that's what we want, to stretch my outer right hip.
I was not sure if you want the pelvis this way or
Yeah,
that way.
no. So we want it
Like twerking.
here, yeah. Not like a sad dog that's in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. And then we'll just be here for a little bit. Just a tight, like an inch. Block the left foot to the left. That's the one on the wall. And then let the right whole leg come with. Yeah, good. Now let's do one more thing. Don't push, but place right hand on the right knee, just at the front there. And then press the knee into the hand and let the hand meet the pressure. Yeah, good. Okay. And then we're going to undo. You put both legs up again and change sides. So the left one crosses over. That's it. And then all the same thing. So first untuck the pelvis, do the twerk action. Twerkasana. That's it. And then without changing that, start to slide the right leg down until you find a good stretch, which will be different for everybody, and it'll be different leg to leg. Yeah, that's it. Be there for a second. Let's walk the right foot out an inch to the right on the wall, the top one, that's it, and let the bottom one come along. Yeah. And then put left hand on the left knee, but don't push on it. Press the leg into the hand and let the hand meet the pressure. Mary, that's perfect. I totally forgot that you're not doing this one, but you found an alternative, so that's good. Okay, guys, and then let's undo, let it go, and just bring the knees into the chest. Yeah, just roll around a little bit. I got distracted and ran out of time, so we're coming to Shavasana. If anybody wants to do legs up the wall for Shavasana, it's totally fine. Yeah. I know, the time went so fast tonight. Yeah. So legs up the wall is a viable option here, or anything else that makes you feel comfortable. The final resting pose. And let the work be done. Yeah, this is really why you came. We did a lot of little tiny details, which was great, but for now, let the details go. Just let it go. Allow your body to absorb your practice. And allow your whole self to relax. Take a deeper breath. Very gently let your head turn from side to side. If you're up on the wall, you can bend the knees and slide the feet down. If you're flat on the back or tilted up on the bolster, up to you. If you're on the bolster, you could roll to the side first, or you could just press straight through the center. If you're laying on your back, I'll recommend going to the side first. And then for everybody, we'll meet up in a seated position, but no rush to get there. Hands to heart center. Thank your body for everything that it's able to do. And thank yourself for being here. Namaste.